Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as ever, my name is Shane, that's Shane is Games, and tonight we're going to be playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, the third game and the conclusion to the original trilogy. This won't be our first time playing it, so if you want to see how we got to where we are tonight, or check out some of the games I played in the past, be them obscure, unusual, or nostalgic, feel free to check out my YouTube. But for tonight, let's go ahead and get in there, shall we? They don't even have an inkling humans existed. I did see that. Yeah, Phoenix Wright's so good. I love this series. It's so good. The twists, the turns. It's so dramatic. Seamus, welcome in. How are you doing today, Seamus? Hope you are doing well. Oh, the other big weird piece of Splatoon lore is Judd, the cute little kitty that is the judge of the matches. There's like some lore that he's like thousands of years old and a genetic clone, and he might be immortal, and also might have stopped a war once. And that's why he's the judge. It's insane. I don't know who's writing this stuff, but they're crazy people is what they are. Yeah, Splatoon lore. He is a cutie, so, you know, I'm glad he's going to be around forever, but it's still weird, you gotta admit. Nikki G, welcome in. How are you doing today? Alright, let's check out the intro here. The girl. Let her go. Whoa, alright, that's dangerous. Shut up! Come closer, and I kill her! Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Holy shit! Yes, this is the start of a new case, case 4. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Name Terry Falls. Charged kidnapping and murder. Sentence death penalty. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Dahlia Hawthorne. Recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who'd recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Six years earlier, Mia Fey first trial. Alright, so we're flashing back to Mia's first trial. That's interesting. I don't know what we're doing back here, but all right, I'm here for it. But the question in Game of Gumo is who's cuter, Judd or Lil Judd? That's what I want to know. Milk vending machine. I've heard that's a thing in Japan as well, but that is really cool. Sky, welcome in, Sky. How are you doing today? How's your weekend going so far? Get it, Falls. I caught that because the bridge and then someone fell. Did Furio Tigre hide himself with a mirror so nobody could see him? He did seem to be not very smart. Just a little shit. He does seem to rep team bad guys a lot. I don't respect that. It is nice, Pumpkin Pie Man. I like that they sort of build this whole mythology around the series, which is kind of cool. And I'm eager to see where all this is leading. So let's see where we're going here. February 16th, 9:24 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm gonna die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now, prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wow, don't do that. That's not good for your teeth. What do you, stop that. What do you, nah, just knock that off. This is off to a bad start. LTG, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. That's what a murderer would say. Yeah, these are strange face tats. Is it supposed to be barbed wire? What is going on there? Alright, Seamus, get some rest. Take care of yourself. Good to see you as always. It's a jawbreaker. I've never seen a jawbreaker with a chain attached to it before. That's kind of clever. Yes, I'm hoping to do the whole series, Pumpkin Pie Man, but I want to do the Great Ace Attorney games last, since they sort of are unconnected to the rest of the main series. Basically, if I keep going after this one, the next game I want to do is Edgeworth, is what the plan is after this. I mean, if there's scars, what? Oh, I guess they could be scars from something like barbed wire. That's possible too, especially if he escaped. Ugh, I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lied. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Ugh, sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm really, really sorry. Kumatori! Welcome in, Kumatori. How are you doing today? How was your stream? What were you playing? Tell me everything. And for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Shane. That's Shane is Games. I play the obscure, the unusual, and the nostalgic. And today we're playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, the third Phoenix Wright game. Let's see. Det Orange Bottle, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. That's it. Yeah, Kuma, what were you up to on stream today? I'd love to hear. This man is going to come out with a book titled, If I Did It, Why Would Anyone Do Such an Incredibly Stupid Thing? That would be a terrible thing of them to do. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then, about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. Well, that's... So he was already on death row for murder, and now they believe he's committed a second murder after escaping. Yeah, this is going to be a fun case. Steel Zipper, welcome in, and thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Someone lying in testimony in an Ace Attorney game? I can't believe it. Oh, yeah, right. I think you might be right. Yes, O.J. Simpson did that. That's the joke. Drinking a load of sake and started talking about how the MCU is a blight to society. I love the MCU, though. I would have disagreed with you strenuously. But how's the new Peglin update? Hope you were enjoying that at least. Yeah, why is he trying to eat that thing? Don't. He's not going to make any progress on that. He's never going to eat that. It's not even edible. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? I just want to point out, Mia is asking this guy, did you commit the crime I am about to defend you for? And it's 10 minutes before the trial? Why does no one in the Phoenix Wright universe prepare for trials? That's what I want to know. Why is there no preparation in this entire universe? Mia, you should have been asking this days ago, if not weeks ago. What the hell? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. You're not gonna figure out the truth just by staring at the guy. Why are you here? Came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where's Mr. Grossberg? That old man's probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. That's also how I introduce my name into conversations. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, whose full name I will use at all times, apparently. The finest attorney... Wow, Mia, just exposited the guy, why don't you? So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No, you got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. Sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax, I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. They said he was on death row for murder. So he was accused of murder, then he escaped from prison, then he maybe committed another murder, and now we're having to defend him. Funnily enough, in law school, we were told don't ask that. Well, that's good, because Phoenix often forgets to ask that as well. And usually when he does ask that, he spends the next hour of the game going, but were they telling the truth? So that's probably a good idea. I think he did call Grossberg a drunk right there. Yeah, definitely. Expositorius Severus. That sounds like a Harry Potter spell right there. Grossberg is Big Mountain. Interesting. He is actually a large man. Mountain of a man, you might say. Come on. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and I heard that simple, childlike voice that I'm not changing because I already picked how he sounds, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. I've got a guess as well, Dame Karen, but I guess we'll see. We'll let it play out. February 16th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Who is this clown? Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So, you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. Guess our little kitten hasn't earned himself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia, you can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. Not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death? You got it, kitten. I don't think this is the same judge. I think this is a different judge, but it's a little hard to tell because the judges don't have names in this game. So I have no idea. Hey, Rafflecoop, welcome in. How are you doing today? Yeah, we got Miles back. Armando's holding coffee. Oh, right, they did mention Courtroom 2 has a Canadian judge. We might actually have Canadian judge here. It's possible. I mean, that would make sense. It's like in UK courts where you have to have the big powdered wig. In Phoenix Wright courts, you gotta have a monster ZZ Top beard. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct, but in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. Witness's testimony? The testimony of Detective Dahlia Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. Alright, so that's how he was on death row the first time. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Ms. Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you mentioned, that wouldn't be exactly the victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Dahlia Hawthorne. Aha, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Ah, the truth is becoming clear to me now. God, his eyes! Why did you draw his eyes like that? He looks like one of those cat clocks that blinks as the tail swings back and forth. He's looking into my very soul. Oh my god. The Omega beard. Oh my god. Damaged Plushie, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Oh. Theodore Vellum, welcome in. How are you doing today? Let's see. Eldritch Baguette, that seems to be pretty par for the course for most people in the Phoenix Wright universe. God, his eyes! This is upsetting. Huh? Yes, yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation in this case. Wow! A young and still homely looking, detective right there. We did get a sassy finger wag. That might actually be the first one, since this is his first trial. This is the birth of that sassy finger wag that I hated so much the first game. A thick Minnesota accent. If I could maintain the Minnesota accent, I would, because oh my god, that would be hilarious to read him in that accent. Edgeworth does look fancier than anyone should ever look. Dick Gumshoe was born and disheveled. It's his natural state. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am! You got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick It's something other than your heart will ache. Oh, okay, I got it. Incompetent as always, even back here. Wait, does the Edgeworth spin-off take place before this? Because they said this was his first trial, I thought. I could be wrong. He did not kill that man. Oh yeah, sure, bud. Overruled, you betcha. Yep, we're doing a flashback case here. It takes place 6 years prior to the case we just saw. Oh my god. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Dahlia Hawthorne, a veteran of the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. The aerial area map? Is it the aerial area map? I'm not sure how else you'd say that, but I don't like that phrasing. And the only people I hear say "you betcha" are people out of state. That's fair. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint. He was trying to make his getaway, sir. Aerial map versus Times New Roman, goddammit. I see. Bridge located 40 feet above Eel River. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Dahlia Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there is no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof they even met there. Your Honor. If you would listen to the testimony we've prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I was some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. The size of 3 unconnected countries. He is the Canadian judge. He used the H word. That's clear evidence right there. I'm just waiting for him to call Edgeworth a hoser, because then I will know for certain that Edgeworth is, legally speaking, a hoser. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Judge's word is final, this is true. See, that's the thing, Gamagumo, is everything I know about what Canadians sound like, I learned from SCTV, which I assume is an authoritative source. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, will the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination coming up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. Courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. You got me there. Maybe you should keep your claws out. Show them what you got, kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. Last night? Does law school not exist in this universe? I have so many questions. Yeah, hoser basically just means dummy. Something like that. God, I love Letterkenny. I love Letterkenny so much. Surely your Canadian knowledge extends to the kids in the hall, too. True, but kids in the hall, they were Canadian, but they didn't have, like... They didn't have that SCTV sketch I was thinking of, which is the most Canadian thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Yes, this is Phoenix's mentor, and this is back when she had her first case. We're having a little flashback right here. Law school in this universe is a 16-year-old to prosecute. I don't think there are many standards. It's true. It's so weird. I'm just thinking back to the first case of the first game where they basically needed to walk Phoenix through how the law works, which is so goofy. All right. Let's go ahead and cross-examine, see what we got here. And I'm going to save too, because I have no idea how dangerous this is going to be. Because I don't know anything about this judge. The Red Green Show, yes! I love the Red Green Show. They used to play that all the time on PBS when I was a kid. I watched the hell out of it. Alright, so on the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant to ask to meet. This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top secret memo that she left in her desk. Confidential police materials written by the victim. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Huh. Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. That's actually very true when it comes to courtrooms. It's that detective's fault. He's the one who said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Is that a trap? Oh, Edgeworth. Never change, and by never change, I mean immediately change. That cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Let's see if we can take a look at that. February 14th, 1:21 p.m., Falls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia, tell her this time the whole truth must come out. There's definitely a lot of questions I have with that, then. Alright. Wait, the finals of what? I might have missed something there. There's actually an official Red Green channel on TikTok, which I've been watching. They put up a whole bunch of sketches there, which is amazing. Dame Karen, you speak the truth. That's where the danger lies. Hopefully Mia's learning that now. So Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it's a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. Twitter competition for best visual novel. Ooh, interesting. Oh, Squaresoft, you never heard of Red Green? Oh man, if you watch someone like it, there's about a bajillion episodes. I love that. This show makes me so happy. And welcome in, Squaresoft. How are you doing today? Umineko is my favorite. Like, I love Phoenix Wright, but Umineko is amazing. So, and that's where she was brutally murdered. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great! We even got to say, "Don't move! We got you surrounded!" Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Huh. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. Only I'd noticed it earlier. Maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Oh man, a MASH reunion. That's pretty wild. House in Fata Morgana. I have a hard copy of that for Switch, but I've never actually got around to playing that yet. I wasn't sure if I wanted to stream it or not. So the criminal stuffed her body into the car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Dahlia Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. Huh. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of that body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? I think it was, if nothing else, Squaresoft, it was the one that popularized it, I'd say, most definitely. Ooh, thank you for the heads up, LTG. I'll have to look into that beforehand. That's always a good thing to know before. So let's see. Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange to you anyway. Oh my god. Why does... I think I figured out where we're going to have to press him, but let's see what we get. Ah, thank you, LTG. I appreciate that. How does this judge compare to our regular? Oh, he's a different flavor of goofball so far. He seems to want to form opinions very quickly on things, but he's very bad at it. Like, he tried to rule the defendant was guilty before we even started the trial. So he's something interesting. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, sorry, I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Alright, Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint set up at the base of the mountain. That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. It takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later and Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. Trap? Walk into it carelessly, and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not! Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you better get some more information. And if you're gonna get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever famous contradictions. Sure hope I can find some of those. Terry is a bit of a hoser, it's true. Can you do spoiler tags and DMs? You can. You can do spoiler tags and DMs, I can confirm this. The way I always do is you type out the message and before you hit send, you can highlight it and then hover your mouse over and there'll be a thing for spoilers, I believe. Alright, so... Alright, let's see. Let's take a look at the evidence again. So, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. That makes sense. Alright, there's the bridge over Eagle River. Nothing much to see there. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia thing is a whole other problem. I mean, I noticed the lock's broken, but it wasn't his car, so it's not necessarily a thing. Alright, there's a couple things we could do here. I gotta figure out what I want to do. Let's save first. And then we'll go in here. Yeah, I can never remember what the symbol is for spoilers, so I just do the hover text thing. Alright, so... let me present here with the confidential note. Witness! What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like this. Should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Isn't she like 20? Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Ah! They're too young to drink coffee, but not too young to defend a murderer, I guess. Mia's 23 here. How is that too young to drink coffee? What the hell? The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you were searching so desperately for. Is this one, perchance? Ah! Oh, where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first, and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why? Why did you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know, and also for some reason is legal because there's no such thing as chain of custody in the Phoenix Wright universe, I suppose. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. It's odd that, I don't know, are we sure that's her scarf? It's a scarf, but if she was told to wear a white one, why would she wear a blue one? I don't know, man. Different rules in different countries, I suppose. Godot was born drinking coffee. See, Shannon, that's what I was told for a long time. And then I found there's just a bunch of different coffees and a bunch of different ways to take it. And it wasn't that I wasn't old enough. It's you just kind of have to find what way works for you. Allie Lawrence would welcome in. I think there's only been like one mention of chain of custody, and they've ignored it in every other case in this series. How did he know there was a crime? I don't know. I don't understand how prosecutors work in this universe. Yeah, prosecutors seem like they work with the police force. They like in the first game, Edgeworth was implied to be Gumshoe's boss. It's really weird. No legal age requirements for drinking coffee. It would take a 150-pound man 200 milligrams to feel any effect. Yeah, it's actually very hard to die of caffeine poisoning. You need, like, the concentrated stuff, not, like, coffee or anything like that. Now, if the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on to the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fay? Why would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy old neck? Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Ms. Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything's moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten. There's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. Genius, huh? And Godot has 17. Oh my god. Biohazard coffee. That's terrifying. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo. You really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say it was a well-intentioned third party. Let's not just say we're in a fucking court of law. Give me a name. Ah, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure how I feel about that either. The delicate? That's, oh god, please not old bag. I can't. So, as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Ah, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again! That's not fair! I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, Alright. I don't think anyone would ever describe Old Bag as delicate, though. She is a battle axe, is the word I would use. After nuclear war, the only thing that'll survive will be the cockroaches and Wendy Oldbag. It's hard. It's so hard, Valishit. I've done it once or twice, but you have to like really be ready to jump on it when it happens, which is tough. All right, so there's an eyewitness from when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Female college student? That's right, meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. Female college student, eh? It means she's female and a college student, sir. Stop! Gumshoe! Gumshoe! Oh. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Oh. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. No, Emperor! No, we're not! Ask Gumshoe, he'll tell you all about it. Oh god, Oldbag in the anime, I can't. The younger brother judge was called Saibonken, which also means the judge, but has a lower class than presiding judge. Interesting, interesting. Oh my god! So the photo is accidentally taken by the witness and shows the Vic wearing the scarf. And yes, she is wearing a scarf in that picture. The victim is wearing a scarf in the photo, alright. So about the witness who took the photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Ms. Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Oh, they mention it. This photo. This cloudy fog-like thing. Is it a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor. No, I don't think it's a ghost. They went with a very ace attorney named Judge Chambers. That's incredible. Oh, something I found out yesterday is I was looking up that article I told you folks about where they were talking about some of the translations work that they did for Phoenix Wright. And they mentioned Luke Atby and the fact that he keeps yelling Zvari. So I was really curious about that. So it turns out in Japanese, he actually does say the word Zuvari, which in Japanese means nothing. It's just a nonsense word. So they decided to keep it mostly the same, but apparently during development, Whammo was in the running to replace Zuvari, which doesn't nearly have the same impact, I don't think. He sounds so much weirder when he's just saying a nonsense word, so I appreciate that. Yeah, that was one of the finalists for the in the running to replace it. Also reminded me that it was a very near thing that Phoenix Wright was also almost called Richard Wright, which is such a boring name, and I'm really glad they didn't go with it. Because, like, Phoenix Wright sounds anime and action-packed, where Richard Wright, I don't know that I'd buy a Game Boy DS game called Richard Wright Ace Attorney. That's so dry. It sounds like a fake game title is what it sounds like. Alright, so it was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. Not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case, the point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. It would have been a dick move. I love it. Dick Wright. Dick Wright. Because, like, they knew they wanted his last name to be Wright, but they weren't sure what to do with his first name. Richard Wright and Dick Gumshoe? That wouldn't have worked very well. Yeah, oh my god, Luke was a blast. I did enjoy voicing him. Oh my goodness. LTG, you're tempted to try some? Oh my god. There was actually an energy drink they used to sell at the 7-Elevens out here. I don't remember what it was called, I just remember it was orange flavored. And when I tried it once, it actually gave me the shakes for the entire night. Which is terrifying, and I probably shouldn't have gone back to get more as often as I did. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Oh, yes it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Took me a second to realize he's being Canadian for a second there. Really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? This mind-boggling tales and the way you said brutal. I wonder if he's Canadian. Mia, you're trying to save a man's life? Are you just now figuring out this guy's Canadian? So this guy's gonna die. I think that's how this case ends. Brutal, man. They're dull, but they're there. Huh. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. Court record seems to have wet itself. Hey! Watch where you spill your coffee! Court record, huh? And that was when the scarf fell off. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from the rain. The bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer's obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere, hidden in that testimony, is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Alright, so we're gonna save again. I've got a guess what we might do here. There's something about this is bothering me as well. I'm not sure if it's what the game wants me to think, but we'll see. How to tell if your judge is Canadian? An important part of any law education, I think. Oh, that's amazing! Alright, so... Alright, so... I want to check this real quick, though. Alright, we're not gonna touch that right now. Let's... I'm gonna try presenting this. That's not it. Dang it. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, I mean, there's one other thing that seems pretty weak, but we can take a look. Yeah, this seems pretty weak, but honestly, we could try it. Nope, that's not it either. Dang it, we're not doing great so far. Awesome, Velishin, awesome. Alright, so... Take another look at the record here. Actually, we didn't look at the profiles yet. Hang on. Let's see. Key witness in the case against Falls 5 years ago. Hotshot lawyer, my senior rival at the office, a bit smug. Alright. Alright, I'm not sure here. If anybody has any ideas, I will take suggestions. Where is the contradiction here is the question. Like, I feel like it's here, but I'm not sure how to... I'm not sure how to prove that. Looking at the scarf and then the picture? It doesn't look like the same scarf necessarily, but in black and white it's really hard to tell. Yeah, I don't know why all photos in the Phoenix Wright universe are black and white either. It could be, though. I can't rule out that it could be the same scarf. Yeah, but the picture's also black and white, so it could... It's a light enough blue that it could have come out white. I can't... Especially from this distance, it's hard to say. Well... Let's see. That's true, it's true. I think the other thing I was thinking is she's wearing a hat on the bridge and she's not wearing a hat there. But apparently that's not the thing. Oh, the trunk photo? Yeah. Yeah, she's not wearing a hat in the car, but I already tried to present that against the bridge photo and that didn't do anything. Yeah, we haven't mentioned Dahlia yet, but I don't think it's the time to get to that. We definitely will be getting to that later, though, I'm sure. Like, there's a bunch of things I want to ask about in here. But I'm not sure where to start. Yeah, the photo didn't work. I thought that was going to be the thing, but it doesn't seem to have been the thing. I don't know. This one's tough. Well, there is one other thing we could try, I suppose. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Dame Karen. I'm like, if she was facing him, why would she suddenly turn her back to him? That's what I'm wondering as well. I think we're going to try something else, a different tack here. Let me try something. There we go. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? Well, that would be the front of her coat. Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I'm sorry, playoff beard? Is that a hockey joke? That seems like a hockey joke. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the Lethal League, would be wet, but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? Surface of the bridge, huh? A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here is the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. Of course. The evidence is the scarf. Ah! It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Got him! No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Hey! Same to you, buddy. Take care of yourself, Nikki G. Thanks for hanging around. Hope you had a good time. Hope you have a good rest. And we will see you around. Playoff beards are definitely a thing, a good luck thing. Interesting. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation is in this case, maybe, shall we? Alright, it's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Huh. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Mr. Armando? No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? False evidence. It's one of those three. What you said just now. I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said that. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is, after I save. Yes. The false evidence in this case is if the victim really did try to repel or kill her, and if she did fall down on the bridge, then you would expect her coat to be dirty. Therefore, the body that was found in the trunk of the car was not the body of Valerie Hawthorne. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Edgeworth? Objection. Not only a whisper, but he mixed in a sigh, too. Dahlia Hawthorne was more than a simple meter maid, she was a sergeant. There's absolutely no chance that a mistake about her identity could be made. Guess he's right. That wasn't what I was thinking was the lie there, but... Alright, we'll go with that. He does look similar, EP, but we don't know anything yet. Don't do it, Mia. Don't cry until you get home. In any case, this court will not be in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Alright, so we had another shot. But yeah, that wasn't what I was expecting to happen there. Well, there's only one other thing it could be. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. Mr. Edgeworth said, "Kinda worries me." What does he mean by the brutal truth? He's got something up his sleeve here. Yeah, the court constantly accepts false evidence and just breezes past it, too. Now, let's proceed with testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. Sit, Mia. Battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Wait a second! Wait, no, hang on. That's Phoenix's girlfriend. Although she's not Phoenix's girlfriend yet, and she's not Phoenix's girlfriend now. At the time Phoenix became a lawyer, that was Phoenix. What? Hang on! Everyone's so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double in a dozen donut holes. Is that a Tim Hortons joke? I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey, not so fast! As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Ms. Fay, you could learn a lot from this man. Such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Yeah? Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? Wow! How can you be so mean? Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time we'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh, I don't like the turn this is taking. She staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fay. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. I don't think that was the name we had before, though. They're called Timbits. Well, I can't use that in the game. A double-double is 2 cream and 2 sugars, but donut holes are generally called bits. I mean, we call them donut holes in the States, but I've never been to a Tim Hortons before. Yeah, they're trademarked, so they can't actually say that. And it's true, a lot of Americans wouldn't have heard of Timbits before. Timbits are donut holes that they sell at a place called Tim Hortons. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then, I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing over here. I was standing in a beautiful field, surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh, what a cute camera, just like its owner. A small but powerful model. Alright then, Miss Faye, time for a cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again, and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Oh, they have them in the UK. Interesting. Oh, Kiss, I'm so sorry. That's frustrating. Yeah, I've heard there are some Tim Hortons in the States now, but I haven't actually seen one. Oh, it's used for everything. Gotcha. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth told her to bring the camera, which is interesting. I wonder why. Alright, so I'm going to save because she seems like a snake in the grass, which we know her to be. Yeah, let's check the profiles, actually. I'm a little curious as well. Melissa Foster, age 19, a college student, witnessed and photographed the incident on Dusky Bridge, which is pretty much all we know about her. So she was taking some pictures of wildflowers, which I don't think we need to press on that. Let's do this. So you notice there are two people on the suspension bridge. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. No, not at all. Everyone's like that. I love watching other people fight too. I can't get enough of it. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them. Especially dressed as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly they started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? Eh? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that? Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. This is bad. Judge Hoser likes hockey brawls. It fits. So then she hurried and took the photo. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. And right after that, she called the police. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? Terry Falls isn't the criminal. And there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're gonna have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're gonna have to come up with something really good, Mia. This is gonna be tricky. He's kind of a clown. Trey Dog, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Alright. I'm gonna save one more time because this is really tough. I mean, she calls it the crucial moment, but I'm not sure why she would call it the crucial moment. Like, what's crucial about this? You can see both of them. Wait, hang on. Hang on a sec. She says they started fighting and that's why she took the photo. But they don't seem to be fighting in the photo, which is odd. Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? Yeah. All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. I mean, yeah. My apologies, young lady. Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo is the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. Seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy's really a sucker for sweet talk. Huh. Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. B origin block and it's labeled bees? Bees! I love that. Alright, so... Oh, here we go. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Alright, so let's press on both of these, then we'll see what's happening here. Yeah, we already know what this girl's like, and we know where she's going in the future, so this is extra uncomfy. victim. Why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. What the fuck is that word there? I have never heard of the word quaggy before. And considering this is a translation, that's an awfully odd choice of words. Resembling a quagmire. Marshy, miry, soft, or flabby. What the fuck? Did he just call her fat? That is way far to go out of your way to call somebody fat. What the hell? Yeah, I'd rather be a spoony bird myself. Quaggy? Why you... If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. There's still something wrong with his testimony. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge, and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Ha, does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. Terry Falls isn't the criminal. There must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge. Yeah, you already said that. Alright, so I'll save again. Hey, Luna Reverie, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Yielding easy to pressure or weight. Oh, that's interesting. Nano. Yeah, I'll have to remember that word too. It's a nice one. Alright, so something must be wrong with one of these two statements. And I've got an idea. I've got something I want to press her on. This is bothering me. Witness, your testimony's a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make this witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. What if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run? Well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have even run 5. Because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. We got her, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's not 10 yards of room there. Ooh, morning popsicles, that sounds nice. What does this all mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, There's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from the photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. That sounds an awful lot like submitting false evidence before the court. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. Lying in my good Christian court? I do remember the intro, yes. Huh, that guy is good. Huh? What do you mean? I'm playing it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward! You say smart, I say bastard. Ugh. Well, Miss Faye, seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No, it wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. All right. Let's keep going. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. He accepts his testimony as it is. We're finished. Don't say that! Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. That's what I like to hear. Alright, Miss Faye. Your cross-examination, if you please. Contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Yeah, why not just push it into the river? I'm gonna start there. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. Alright, I can do that. I'm gonna save first, though, of course, because this is a tricky case. But I do see another possibility right here. I imagine everyone else does. Wonder if they'll ever make the game with voice actors? I mean, probably not, just because most it's technically a visual novel, and visual novels typically don't have voice acting. A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah! In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, You can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the river. Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay. I must admit it does seem odd to have not thrown the body in the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the way of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion was without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. And surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car? That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. What is he talking about? All right, I'll do my best. Nothing is adding up here. There's lots of things that don't make sense about this. The color of the scarf, the condition of the scarf, the condition of the coat, the fact that he didn't just push the body off the bridge. The judge seems to be okay with all this, but I don't know. I'm not liking this. Oh, EP, thank you. I appreciate that. Named, welcome in. How are you doing today, Named? Hope you're doing well. Alright, so stabbed her in the back, picked her up in his arms, carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. Alright, so that's the new testimony, so let's press on that then. What did the man do then? Well, naturally he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when you called the police. You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. Wait a sec, hang on. Hang on a second. I think I see a problem here. Yep, I see a problem here. We're gonna save again, and then we're going right after her. Something Mia said is what tipped me off there. Didn't the first flashback case establish that Mia lost this case? I mean, we know that there was a case involving this girl that she got off innocent, but I don't know if that was something Mia was into. Yeah, see, that bothers me as well, Geek Boy, but that's not specifically what I see with the problem with this. There's another problem here, too. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. Crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Fay? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes. And? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that's being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah! Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! There we go, that's the problem I was seeing. She shouldn't have been able to see it from there. Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Is that a Canadian word? I'm familiar with the word. I do not traditionally associate that with Canada. Objection, Your Honor, on the grounds that it's damaging to my case. That is definitely an old people word, it's true. See, if he stole it and it was a traffic light, he should have had the keys too, so he shouldn't have needed to break in the trunk. Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify about only what she saw with her own eyes. Oh! Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute! You can't just say that! Miss Fay, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair. Save the tears for later, kitten. Yes, this is the Canadian judge, and they keep making Canadian references here. Apparently, what I've been told is that he wasn't Canadian in the original Japanese version. But one of the leads of the translation team is from Canada, so they decided to basically use the character as a joke about him, which is kind of funny. How are you doing today, some guy in a hat? I hope everything is going good with you. The Ballyhoo Half-Beak. I've never heard of that one either. Yeah, that finger wave is so sassy. Mr. Armando. Don't look back until the trial's over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten. You need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! That's actually what I was more concerned about than the stolen part. Well, Ms. Foster, until you can explain how you know that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain there were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Ms. Fay, are you satisfied? The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. Which is why we're going to save again. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? It doesn't work. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally! I finally got her! I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Fay explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... I mean... It seems crazy to say, but I mean... Like, right? Am I the middle one? Am I crazy for thinking the middle one? Let's see. Warded, nice all in. Congratulations. Everybody else is busting there. It is a big leap, but I don't know. Sure, let's throw it out there. What do we got to lose, aside from some of our health? There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes? What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Ms. Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There we go, finally. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Ms. Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. Now is your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Edgeworth. I'm gonna save, but I think I know what she's about to say here. And this is about to get real interesting if she's about to say what I think she's about to say. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Let's take another look at this camera and see what the features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? No, she really did use the camera's auto timer. And the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Ms. Foster when the incident occurred? And answering that question will also make clear Ms. Foster's true identity. I'm gonna save, but I think I know what we're about to say. And things are about to get fucking crazy. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Are you guys ready? Alright. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Ms. Hawthorne, was standing. Order! Ms. Fay, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in the photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? Ice Cream Mikey, welcome in, and thank you for the raid. How are you doing today, Mikey? How was your stream? What were you playing? Tell me everything. And for anybody from Mikey's stream that doesn't know me, my name is Shane. That's Shane's Games. I play the obscure, the unusual, nostalgic. Today we are playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials of Tribulations, the 3rd Phoenix Wright game. Got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. Alright, we'll save it again, because oh my god, this is a difficult case. Hey Mikey, how'd your stream go? What were you playing? And I appreciate you stopping by as always. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself with. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Oh no. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. Bomberman Act Zero. I've heard so much bad stuff about that game, but I've never actually played it before, Mikey. How is it? Are you enjoying it? Is it actually worth playing? She was disproved and vanished in a puff of logic. I love it. I love it. You've heard right. Oh no. Well, I appreciate you playing it so the rest of us don't have to then, Mikey. You're a saint for that. I appreciate that. All right. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. All right. To be continued. We survived the first part. That's a good thing. Derezzed like in Tron. Oh my god. At one point was charging people $60. Oh my god. I don't think too many people took them up on the offer though. Like, I'm not sure that I've seen that many games that were so universally and instantly reviled as that one. Like, you know, usually I try to say don't judge a book by its cover, but as soon as everybody saw what Bomberman looked like in that one, it was pretty much game over. Some guy in a hat, Shane, I noticed you don't tend to stream games considered terrible on purpose. Usually not. Because there are, as far as I'm concerned, there are plenty of people that do that already. Like, if I did that, I don't think I'd be breaking any new ground. I do stream games that are terrible, but I try to stream games that have something interesting and unique to them. Like I have promised, once we hit 3,000 followers, I will be replaying Clive Barker's Jericho, which is a terrible game, but it's made by Clive Barker. That's kind of interesting. It's a supernatural shooter. That's kind of unique. He's got a whole bunch of different characters with different abilities. That's kind of neat. It's still real bad, but, you know, I find it fascinating. So that's the kind of thing I like showing off there. Let's see. Life Foreign, welcome in. Am I the 100th person to say you look like Penn? More like the 500th, but he is a handsome man, so I don't mind the comparison. Welcome in, Life Foreign. Hope you're doing well right there. Recess, do we get to play tag or tetherball? Oh my god. Let's see. Yeah, Ralph Coop, that doesn't look like Bomberman, does it? They kind of redesigned him, and absolutely no person liked it. And then some people actually tried playing the game, and it turns out that wasn't very good either. Yeah, Clive Barker's Jericho. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by Clive Barker's Jericho. It is a very bad game, but for some reason I'm fascinated by it. Yes, please look up the cover of Bomberman Act Zero. You're not going to believe what you see there. It's very confusing. Life Foreign, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Penny's Games, of course. Did Barker make any other games after that? He did not. He made a game before that, which actually is really good. We played that on stream as well. The name escapes me at the moment. Clive Barker's Undying, that was it. Before that, he made a game called Clive Barker's Undying that didn't sell very well, but honestly, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Then he made Clive Barker's Jericho, and he's talked about before he had a rough outline for Jericho 2, but the Jericho sold so badly that it destroyed the company that made it, and he never ended up making the sequel. But he did have some notes for a sequel in his mind, at least. Lee 2, that's half the point right there. And welcome in, Lee 2. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, once you've seen that cover, you can never actually go back. Forever, you're going to know that there is one game that decided maybe instead of a little white-headed guy with a helmet, Bomberman should look like Master Chief. To which the entire world said, nah, let's not. Chanel's Games, there's also that. There's that too. February 16th, 1:14 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. Mr. Falls, I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we gotta get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information? Right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. Punisher, you originally named read my name is Chanel's Games. A lot of people do, and I find it hilarious every single time. Like I've mentioned before, I can always put underscores in my name so it's more clear, but I think it's hilarious, so I'm never going to change it. Ah, gotcha, Leah, too. That's very cool. Hopefully it works well for you. Stupid sans serif fonts. I know it's not doing me any favors. If you look, the capital I and the lowercase l in Twitch's font are exactly the same. People call me Skyfer I Shot. Oh my god, I never even noticed that before. See, usually I tend to assume, oh, it's Skyfer is hot. I never even noticed that either. I just assumed it was one big word, Skyfer Shot. It never occurred to me it was 3 separate words. I just shortened everybody's names because I'm lazy, so I just kept saying Skyfer. Well, I've learned something new today. And now I feel a little bit silly. Now I know, at least. I've been educated now. I will definitely remember that. That's happened before by a couple other usernames where I was pronouncing them wrong for a very long time. Oh, interesting, Kiss. Thank you, Sky, thank you. Yeah, I was always curious about your name, Kiss. Kiss, the reason I shortened yours to Kiss is because I feel like if I go for that back half, I'm going to mispronounce it very badly, so I'm trying to save myself the embarrassment there. Lots of secrets coming out today, oh my god. Alright, let's see what he's got to say about the 5-year-ago incident. I'm very curious what he's got to say about this. Kiss is way better than Kiss him, though. Well, I mean, you've got the capital M in there, so I assume it wouldn't be Kiss him. Like, when I see the capital, I assume that's got to be a hard break right there, so I wouldn't guess that. This picture, it reminds me of everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Huh. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart any minute. True, I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend, huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? Alright, now we're getting lots of new information here. Girl, let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. First I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong! No protect sister! Valerie betrayed me! Betray us! What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel. Did he actually say my teen angel? You see it one so many soap operas. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. Send to her dad. Asked for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusty Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket's a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the $2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman! That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real! She's shooting at me for real, me and Dahlia! I was shot in the arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up and police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? Why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear an answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? Oh, really? I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River. Disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. You never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? Guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth $2 million. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel? Or is she really a... It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet! Whew, alright, that is a lot to take in. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a lot to try and make sense of, but we definitely have some new angles to work on here. Oh, interesting, Lost. That's kind of a cool idea. I like it. There are a lot of puns in this series, so I wouldn't be surprised. Colt 169, as always. Whew, all right. Training wheels come off now, Mia. You get to strike while the iron's hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. February 16th, 1:49 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 4. 2 plots in 1 trial! Oh my god. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand the defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try and pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime, that's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? Certainly hard to imagine this woman is a murderer. Motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. Huh, you're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you'd quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me? May I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course! Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Let's see, how old is this girl? I think they said she's 19 right now. Which is important, I suspect. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago, or kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. I'm starting to put together what's happening here. But, Mia herself isn't quite near the point where she's ready to unravel it all, so let's see if we can work our way up to the truth here. I'm gonna save and then we're gonna start pressing on her testimony, see if we can find any new information or weaknesses. So what country were you living in? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed. It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sob story is this? I do. Should I press her for details? Let's wait and see. Nothing I can do about her claim to have lost all her identification. All I can do is wait to find some other evidence about her real identity. Very well then, Miss Foster, please proceed. How convenient that she lost all of her identifying info. Until she entered college, she'd never been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look much like a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. You know, you're such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you. She's really gone too far. Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. So she's already being defensive about her real identity. That's not great. Yeah, Valishan, I know for a fact that at least once per game, there's typically a dead end you can wander into, so I want to make plenty of saves to make sure that if I end up in the dead end, I can get out of it. I think I almost got trapped in the dead end in the first case. In the first game, I should say, which is a little dangerous. Alright, so she certainly doesn't have a reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at that time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair! That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. Yeah, I hear you, Kiss, I hear you. Alright, I need to blow my nose real quick, folks. Don't go anywhere, I will be right back. Alright, thank you for waiting, folks. I am back. Yeah, Yamagumo, he does seem like he's dressed up a little bit more regal than normal. I think, since this is his first case, maybe he sort of went into it a little bit more egotistical than even the normal Edgeworth, which I don't think is possible, but here we are. Alright, holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. A grudge? Well... the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot about the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. You forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. Let's press a little bit harder on this. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell what she was without some sort of identification, right? Quite right, and that's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I'd been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. It's bad. Mr. Fall's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Have it added to the testimony. Your Honor, what the witness just said right now is tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. Prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. A testimony helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why. Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. Edgeworth is still pretty cocky. Like, even in the first game, which takes place after this, he still really is. And yeah, Von Karma, oh my god, Von Karma has a very high opinion of himself. Eldritch Baguette, I'm always afraid of that. And now you've confirmed. Damn. Oh yeah, he did have the outfit on the wall. I forgot about that. So, I'm gonna save, and then I think we have another contradiction, don't we? I mean, we know that the legal system in Phoenix Wright isn't quite the United States system, and it's not quite the Japanese system, so maybe. Hard to tell. Yes, DB Stewart, this is a flashback. We're currently 6 years in the past, so that hasn't happened yet. But they mentioned that she'd been in court before in that case, so I think we might be encountering that now. Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. Ah, you're talking about this scarf right here, eh? Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing. I've got her now. Just don't mess up. But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. White? This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look white to me. Well, it was foggy that day, and it was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf. Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is because of the victim's note. Witness, have you ever seen this note? Note? No, never. It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you would have. I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Fall's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. White scarf? Ah! Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Well, Ms. Foster? Oh, we got her here! Order! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Dahlia Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right. Person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... Hang on there, kitten. What is it, Mr. Armando? Here, I made some special cafe con leche for you. Put in plenty of sugar. Drink it up before it gets cold. Don't be shy. Why are you doing this? Your brain needs stimulation. Drink some of this and think it over again. Listen, keep messing up like that and you're gonna get the judge mad. Miss Faye! Don't just stand there casually drinking coffee. Oh, damn it. Oops. It's too late. But oh no, he's hot. He kind of is. Let me catch up a little bit here. Yeah, the whole Manfred von Karma thing is one of my favorite moments in the Phoenix Wright games. Americanese justice system, basically. It gives you a better understanding of Japanese and UK USA law proceedings. That's interesting. I can't wait to get to that one, honestly. Alright. The third person that knew the identity of the note. And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. I mean, I was still in the neighborhood, let's be honest. Yeah, the DL6 case is probably my favorite moment in the entire series so far. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There's her name right there. What's this? So who is this person, this Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she died 5 years ago, when she fell off Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne is 14 years old 5 years ago. If she was still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not saying. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Nice work. It was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but hit-and-run arsonists. I understand. I can expose her true nature. I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way! But then why? You hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to... The victim's younger sister, Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne. But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of the victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder. Really, Miss Fay, I must say, your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Ms. Fay must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Ms. Fay, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, thought I was winning. Somehow he's turned it around on me. Huh. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. Think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No, you just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me? Yeah, EP, this is such an exciting series. That's why I love it so much. Because there's always just these crazy twists and turns get me every time. I love it. I love it so much. Yep, he was going to allow because his argument would have been that it doesn't matter if Dahlia is dead or not, because we're not trying that case, trying a different case. But yeah, it's typical Edgeworth right there, hiding facts that he decides are irrelevant. He's an asshole. Oh, the soundtracks are so good too, Burning Star. The chase music from the first game is my favorite though. Oh, what a track. The rashness of youth, how charming. It's coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Ms. Fay, oh god, we gotta save again. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Dahlia Hawthorne? What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Fay? Oh, that was... the rashness of youth. Rashness of youth? What is the point of you furthering? Oh god, nope, we botched it. Oops. Welp! It's okay, we did save there. Yeah, that was absolutely a lie. I think he's got some Weasley excuses he could have given, but they are bullshit, I can confirm this. There is a lot of games in this series, definitely. I'm going to try to play through as many as possible. Oh, the prequels have some really good music. Oh, I can't wait to get to them. Alright, so if that's not the what they're looking for, what are they looking for then? What are they looking for me to say? Let's see. I think this might be what they're looking for then. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia, tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie, to keep her mouth shut permanently. Hey Groshin, welcome in. God, that parrot case. A terrific story, Ms. Fay, if you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Fay. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Dahlia Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know the secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this'll be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. "5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ms. Fay? Yes, Your Honor. As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info. The ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. Arm bars for everybody. So they supposedly announced back in 2019 that they were doing preliminary work on a new Ace Attorney game, but nothing's come of it after that. Yeah, I want to play the Trauma Center games on stream at some point too, but I got to get my Switch set up in here, which I haven't done yet. Pining for the fjords. Yeah, that's the thing I want right now, is I'm hoping that they'll port more of the games to PC. Because here's the thing, they've already ported most of the games to Android. And since Android's a single monitor device, I imagine they've already got some experience in how to convert the UI over. I haven't actually played the Android version, though. But I'm hoping that'll make it easier to bring it to PC in the future. So, fingers crossed. Yeah, we do know what happened in 2019, though, so I understand why things have slowed down a bit. Alright. Let's save again, because we are in very, very dangerous territory here. Alright, so she says her sister brought the diamond to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Foles in the arm. Actually, I think I might have found the problem here. Yep. Nope. Dang it! Oh, God. I'm gonna load from a save because I've got, like, no health now. Nice, Gino. That's kind of you. Those games have a steep difficulty curve? Oh, no. Well, thank you for letting me know. That's a little terrifying. Well, see, I wasn't talking about the actual code base. I was talking about the UI, because I think the biggest problem with porting them is taking a dual screen setup and making it a single screen, but if they've already done that once, that at least saved them some time. Alright, so... Alright, so we might have to press her before we can actually present stuff here. That was a dangerous thing to do, considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually, that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow, I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try to run away, and Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin? Oh. And in the next instant... I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I'd been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. A crumbling bridge, nowhere to run, and just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. Let's see, how does this pre-Phoenix case involving the first trial's murder relate to the Maid Cafe? So this is the earliest we've ever seen in the series, basically. This is Mia's first case, Mia being Phoenix's mentor. So this is 6 years ago, whereas the Maid Cafe case took place in the present. So we're flashing all the way back. The context for this flashback is Phoenix is reading some old case records. It looked like he was just laying in bed reading some files. I've seen some of the later levels in Trauma Center. They do look pretty nightmarish. Yeah, the first 3 games were released just in GBA in Japan, whereas in the States they only came out on DS, which was the enhanced remakes. Alright, so... press on this one, too. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. A $2 million pint of milk? I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think you wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If you ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... Alright, so, let me take a look at the notes again. Let's see, how do we want to play this? I'm not sure what the contradiction is here, or... I thought it had something to do with the diamond, but I already tried that and it didn't work. I have seen some of the crazy stuff later in Trauma Center, which honestly just kind of desperately wants to make me play it. This is tough, because like I think I know what they want, but the trouble is trying to figure out how they want me to say it, is the thing. That's the tricky part. Actually, hang on a second. So Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. It's kind of a long shot. But honestly, that might be... It's a little hard to tell, based on the way she phrased it. But I'm going to try this here. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I should have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in the last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. Almost certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, For all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. Small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. She's right. I'll keep that in mind as well, Valician. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witness had testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. That's true, she would have fallen in the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now. When I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious! Order in the court! It seems Ms. Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Ms. Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say, that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. What's the court record? Oh. Well, isn't that interesting? Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. I know, D.B. Stewart, the witnesses in these games make me so mad because it's just an endless torrent of lies. And the judge is like, don't worry about it. And the prosecution's like, let me help you get away with your lie, please. That is good, Valician. Very lucky right there. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? We're gonna save again because it's getting tense. Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? It was so important that she'd want to jump into the river. The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of Eagle River. "5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million. She was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Dahlia Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? Written, oh God! But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Dahlia Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices in the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne. Who is that? Laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, it's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman, Ms. Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14 I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey? I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? Hey, LTG, nice all in. Warded, nice all in as well. How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? Let me save again. The mask has come off. Her true self has been revealed. I don't even have decisive proof of Dahlia Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertion made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? The girl's made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Huh. Without evidence, the trial's over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando! Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car, and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person that can testify to that demon woman's crimes? Well, that's obvious. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. New witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? Prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant into the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Yeah, this is kind of wild. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. And you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want answers to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne, or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? We're going to save again. Yeah, they're making another Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves. That's insane, but I liked the first one. It was pretty good. Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other. Terry? Dahlia! It's true! You are alive! You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth! The real truth! I believed in you! I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Dahlia. I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and only once. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. Ah! Eek, I'm sorry. I apologize. Water. Please. Water. Can't talk. Need water. Oh well. Guess I'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Alright, let's hear what he's got to say. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. I watched my car from bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Oh no. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Ms. Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Ms. Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? Only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think. Oh, God. Oh, this is real bad. This is real bad. Yeah, it's emotional blackmail right in front of the judge, and no, of course, he's not saying anything. Naturally. Alright. I'm gonna press him on this first. You were watching the car. That bridge, other side's broken. Nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. Get that feeling. Contradiction? Wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came and she stood in front of me. I think I see the contradiction, but we're gonna keep playing this out though. Yeah, I mean, he still was convicted of the original murder, but they'd probably have to do some sort of retrial now that we know A, the victim's still alive, and B, we've got good evidence that he didn't actually do it, but that's a whole different thing. They should have never canceled the TV show. I would have liked to have seen more of the TV show, but the first season was kinda okay. Like, Matt Ryan is the perfect Constantine. I cannot even imagine them casting somebody better than Matt Ryan, but the first season was just kinda okay, I think. I still would have liked to see more of it, but I understand why they canceled it, unfortunately. Have you seen Legends of Tomorrow? He was in a whole bunch of that, and God, I love that show so much. Yes, Legends was so good. I mean, Keanu is good, but like, Matt Ryan is like he's a perfect adaptation of the Constantine from the comics, is what I'm saying. He looks like the guy from the comics, he sounds like the guy from the comics, he has that swagger too. Yeah, I mean, Keanu is not like a perfect adaptation from the comics, but he was good. He had the kind of attitude of the character, so I still liked him in the role. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking him any. Like, I liked the movie, I really did. Yeah, he's done the voice of Constantine in a bunch of the animated stuff too, which is really cool. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face. Wait a minute. If you'd remembered her face, then why'd you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry, I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing there now. She was different. It was Valerie. Alright, so... I think I see the problem here. Yeah, I definitely see the problem here. I'm not sure if this is the right place to present it, but I think this is the problem. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Fay. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Yep. Yeah, Constantine appears in both the Sandman TV show and in the Sandman comic books. It is a different casting. They kind of went on a different take, but it's a really interesting casting, though, I think. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you get to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under a base tree there. It's a spell. That's the necklace that she had in the case where she had the poison. That's the poison necklace. Fuck. Well, there I go. I need a drink. Give me a second. The poison necklace. Necklace containing the poison. Alright. Thank you, Phoenix Wright in the universe, for this moment of Shane's brain going to goo, whizzing out my ears. If it wasn't for this, they'd be all over the floor right now. Yeah, seriously, oh my god. This is what I went to get. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento? Quite charming, but looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? Oh no! That's enough. Please. Witness? I promised her 5 years ago. If it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. No! Stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess! I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No! We're so close! Just a little more! I was gonna prove your innocence! No. Don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Falls! Mr. Armando, thanks for the coffee. Mr. Falls! And so my first trial ended. Suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep in my soul I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable. That witch. Mr. Armando! We were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault? It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're gonna make my coffee all salty. I knew it! I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Holy shit! The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando! No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. One year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something's happened that made me remember all this. I noticed Phoenix appeared to be in a hospital bed there too. I just noticed the IV off to the side. That's interesting. Alright, that just leaves episode 5, Bridge to the Turnabout. We'll go ahead and save there. So I wanted to explain a little bit here, and I'll explain again next time we stream, but episode 5 here is extremely important. Why is it extremely important? Well, the creator of the Phoenix Wright series, who is directing this game, when he wrote episode 5 here, he intended this game to be the finale of the entire Phoenix Wright series. In other words, he didn't expect there to ever be any other Phoenix Wright games. This was supposed to end the entire series. This case, episode 5, was meant to be the conclusion to everything. So, kind of a big deal, is what I'm saying, is what this one is. I've never played it before, like I said, I'm still blind on this. But I do know this was meant to be the grand finale to Phoenix's entire story and to the series. So when he wrote it, kind of a big deal. So this one is going to be a very long one, I know that. And hence, that's why we're going to have to wrap it up here, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, it was meant to be the end. So what basically happened after that was eventually Capcom said they wanted to do another series, or they wanted to do another game in the series. And he said, you know, I don't want them to use Phoenix Wright because I think his story's done. So they ended up making Apollo Justice with a different protagonist. And originally he said he didn't want Phoenix to be in the game at all, but as anyone who's played Apollo Justice knows, he did lose that argument, and Phoenix appears in part of it at least. See, I've been told the last case is very long. I assume it's going to take all next week and maybe some more to play it. Now, not next week precisely, because as I said, we won't be streaming any next week because I've got eye surgery scheduled and I'm going to be in recovery from that next week. So unfortunately, I won't be able to stream at all next week, but we'll be picking this up week after next. And we're going to be racing towards the finale of the game, seeing how this all wraps up. I'm excited. That case was a lot of fun, so I'm eager to see where it's going to go from there. I hope you folks are as well. I apologize that I won't be able to be here next week, but I hope you will join me once I get back. So, it's only 7:30 a.m. Oh, God. Like I said, this seems like a very long case, so it's not that I don't want to play any of it. It's not that I don't think I have time to play any right now. It's that I'm worried about starting the case and then having an entire almost 2 weeks between that. Because I know I'd forget the details that happen in there, so I think it's a little bit easier if we can do it all at once, you know? Thank you very much for the well wishes. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, I will still be on Discord, and I will still be on Twitter. If anybody needs to get a hold of me, feel free to. But like I said, for right now, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate everybody being here today. This was so great. This case was awesome. And I will see you week after next for the finale of this. But for right now, we do have one last thing to do before we call it a night, and that is, let's see who all else is online. So if you're not done watching Twitch, maybe I can send you somewhere cool. So first and foremost, make sure to hit follow if you haven't already. That'll be the quickest way to find me next time we stream, or at any point in the future if you'd like to come back. Feel free to join us for that. And while I'm looking to see who all is live right now, there are some other links in chat you might want to check out if you haven't seen them already. We've got a link to my Twitter if you'd like to get notified about the stream that way. We have a link to my YouTube if you would like to get caught up on Phoenix Wright, or if you just want to check out some of the games I've played in the past, including Phoenix Wright 1 and 2. And we have a link to my Discord if you would like to chat with myself or the rest of the community outside of the stream. Everyone's invited there, so feel free to join us. And I have no idea what game this is, but I'm definitely curious, so I think this is where we're going to be going. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would absolutely love it if you join us as we go raid none other than Fractal Mind Mike. He is a very cool retro streamer. He focuses on big box PC games, which he has an enormous collection of. And today he is playing a game I have never heard of before, but apparently it's a platformer about Zorro that has FMV cinematics? I've never heard of this before, but I'm very interested. I want to see this for myself. So why don't you join me over there, say hi to Mike, hang out for a bit, throw him a follow if you like what he's doing. But hey, if you've got other things to do, I will just say as I always do, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. I will see you folks week after next for the conclusion of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Take care of yourselves till then, everybody.